Now this year, I'm serious about if we don't win it, bro. Honestly, this year we do have to make a serious change. It's no more adding pieces, stashing pieces. No, we got to make some changes. What do you think, Mike?
You'll see what happens this year.
All right, y'all.
I
Let's
mean,
go
I'm just
round one.
saying.
Before we get started, it's that Niners Lounge. I'm your boy Ronnie Niner. It's your boy Money Math. With your boy Money Mike. Round one, as always, another week of Niners Lounge. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on,
Doing
guys?
good, doing good.
Chilling, chilling. All right, let's go ahead and just kick this off. Math, it's just another week of Mav's case on why we should be looking to blow this shit up in a year. Go ahead, Mav. Kick us off. What you grabbing about this week? What's on your mind?
Honestly, bro, honestly, I'm looking at. Okay, first off, Mike is acting like finance is not really going to be a pain in the butt in the next 2 years. I think it is.
I said there'll be issues, but you literally said that once we give Bosa a contract, we're not going to be able to afford anything, and we just need to start all over.
I mean, seriously, dude, he's looking to be the highest paid at his position in the history of the NFL, right?
That's fine.
And then you still have to look at IU, especially if he balls out again this year.
It's
He's gonna
Ayuk,
have to get paid.
it's Ayuk or Debo. We're not going to get both. That's where I make the first concession. It's Ayuk or Debo. You can't afford both.
Okay, so first domino falls. Let's go. Let's keep it
Right.
going. You can't afford both. That's the first domino
So
right there.
who's going? All right. So I guess the question then becomes: Are it just going to be depend on who has a better season, or he's just got his option out there. He ain't really signed yet, right?
Right.
So hey,
They can still tag him though,
who's
if
gonna
I'm not
go? Who's
mistaken.
gonna stay, or do you keep both?
I don't think you'll be able to keep both. Just like Mike said, you're not gonna keep both after this year. It's either one or the other.
So then,
I'm keeping Ayuk. Ayuk is the better receiver. I've been screaming it for the last 2 years or a year and a half at least. He's the better receiver.
nah, you've been trying to trade Debo for a while now. So
He's
You
the
already
better
know.
receiver, but is Debo the better offensive weapon?
Listen, you can call it offensive weapon, gadget player, wide back, all you want to. It's not gonna last long.
We can all admit he
I don't
had
care how.
he had a down year last year, right? So Ayuk and Debo both have something to prove this year. Say they both play at their best. We just get phenomenal play from both of them. Then you've got a tough decision.
I mean, in my personal opinion, IU has more to prove because he's playing for that bag. Debo already got his.
Yeah, but Debo's playing for his pride. He admitted himself that he had an off year last year. So I think he wants to get back to a 21 form.
Okay, so to make long story short, we're both in agreement that we're not going to keep both. There's a possibility that one is gone.
In the long run, yes. We may be able to finagle it
Okay.
where we can have them both for 1 year and then Debo goes the following year. But if that's the case, it's going to be because they picked IU. If they
Okay.
give Ayuk a contract, Debo's gone within 1 to 2 years.
And Kittle.
Kittle's interesting. I think Kittle's going to come down to if he's willing to renegotiate.
You don't think the injuries
so
are going to come into play and his age?
That's why you got to renegotiate. He's still going to be. He's not. He had one of his better seasons last year. If he has another season like that, come on.
You
so
gonna say
keep
something
in
wrong?
mind Debo's contracts was only a 3-year contract, right?
Yeah,
So
that's why I
that's
think
got to tell you a little something.
we can
It's
maybe
only 3 years.
or we keep them both for 1 year.
Let's do this. How about we just go to over the cap? and see the contract.
I'm not on my computer, but here's the thing about Debo. It's the weight issue. I mean, if you're going to decide between one or the other, there's certain things about Debo that kind of work against him. So, Debo's inconsistent when it comes to his being in shape. That's my issue with Debo. It's like 1 year he's phenomenal. The next year he comes overweight, and then he has to remotivate himself to get back into shape. And Brandon is just like, all gas.
All right, so we're talking Debo. They don't have the years on it. I gotta. Okay. All right, so 2026 is free agency for Debo.
I don't think Debo's going to make it to 2026.
So it's actually viable for us to trade Debo.
Ayuk is 2025. That's after right next season.
I think they're going to wait on this year and see how it plays out and see who does what. If they both play well, because Purdy can feed. Can Purdy feed everybody? If they both ball out, then they really have to decide if they can carry both of them for another year. Because he's due to get paid.
Speaking of Purdy, if he balls out this year, I don't think the Niners wait for him to play out his contract. 2026 will be the year.
He's not eligible next year.
No, but I don't think they will wait till 2026. Like, I believe by 2025, if he plays well this year, they'll be talking contract already. I believe so.
I hope not.
I mean, look at Jimmy, bro. Jimmy came in. I mean, he was on a last.
That's why we got. Exactly. That's why they need to learn. Look at Jimmy.
But you know what's going to slow that down is Bosa.
So Bosa is a key piece right now to keeping the 49ers core together as a.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's a. Mm-hmm.
Once he get paid, that's it. We're starting to have to shave money in places that we don't want to. We've already lost. I mean, look at how our second string O-line played, man. I mean, that's terrible. I feel like we've already lost depth.
Can I bring up a point there, though?
Go ahead.
Everyone's freaking out about the O-line, right? Is there going to be a circumstance where the entire second string O-line plays at once?
It's not even so much about the entire string, but it's more so like, you think about it though, it's more so like just one player can disrupt the first string offense. Yeah, just one.
Well, one of these second string guys playing with the first string, they're going to be better.
Do you have any concern that it's that steep of a fall off between first string and second string though?
No,
it's a big fall off.
It'll be a combo.
So, yeah, let's talk about that real quick because I do want to talk about that. I don't even think we really talked about the Raiders game. Let's talk about because the Raiders they came in with starters and they came in with vets. I mean, they came in to play. This wasn't a preseason game to them. Like Mike said earlier, they were scheming, and then our guys were they're all the rookies, all the young guys. You can clearly tell the experience level. We had a college team out there still. And we know that, though. We know that's how we draft. We draft these guys to play them 2-3 years later. Everybody understands that.
Yeah, but right now we can't. That window has closed. It really has closed. We can't be stashing players no more. It's really like, okay, we got to get on the ball. Get these guys that are ready. We don't need to be stashing them and coaching them and getting them up there. Um,
But why not? It's proven successful for us.
it has, but have we gotten a championship yet? If we had at least one Super Bowl during that term while they were doing that, I wouldn't even be talking about this right now. But
But
the
we're still
fact that we've got,
year after
huh,
year after year after year.
yeah, but how long do you want to just keep winning seasons and never
Okay, so
win a
let me ask you this, Mav. Let me ask you this: going into the off season, how many positions did we say were open up for competition? What up, Drewski?
What up? What up?
I mean,
We
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 thought
back at court and we back at court with Mav about blowing the team up in a year. That's
let's
that's what we
go.
talking about. Mav's pleading his case again. So
As
yeah,
far as
so
I'm
how
concerned,
many positions did we say were like really up for grabs for like a rookie or a second year guy to come in and take?
I know we talk quarterback position and running back position, DB
Nickel.
position, yeah, and that's
Hold on,
pretty
hold
much
on. Time
about
out,
it.
time out.
That's it, right? So there's only like two or three spots. There's only
Why are
two
we
or three
quarterback and
spots.
running back? If we got three
But
quarterbacks that came in for it, and then running backs, you don't feel like we solid at what we got?
no, no, no. We're talking about as far as what we talk would be a competition going into camp, which really was never no competition for no position, honestly.
Okay, well, quarterback, we only knew that position was for QB2. That was
According
the
to Matt, it
only
was really for
real. That
QB1
was the
though.
only real
That's
battle.
not a competition, bro. That's
That's
not
what
a
I'm
battle,
saying.
bro.
But they're gonna call it a battle. Like we said coming in, that's the reason why they brought Darnold in. We knew the whole catch of it. And then when you look at it for running back, I mean, I don't really see a battle. Elijah
Okay,
keep getting injured, so
put it this way.
we got our
Put it
running back.
put it this way. If it's truly a battle, I want to see Sam Donald out there just for just about the same length that Trey Lance was behind that same line. No difference.
I
Listen,
got
see,
I
I
got a
said this
question for
last
Matt.
week. Hold on.
I got
I
a
said this
question.
last week. It's not going to work like that because it depends on who they really want to see win this. I've been looking at like you put him behind a line like this, or when he gets sacked and stuff, and you see how it goes, but then you put another line who might be a little better and you try to rotate players. So Sam Donald looked like he got more protection than what Trey had.
Quick question. Quick question. Who does Nick Zakel back was supposed to be backing up?
He's interchangeable at guard and center.
Okay, so if
He's
either
not to me
or
because he was trash
either
last week.
He's
listen,
trash this year.
either center or guard goes out and he has to come in, that whoever's quarterbacking, I feel sorry for them. They're gonna get sacked at least 3 times if he has to play an entire game.
But, no, but that's not true. You're judging the second string O line as a whole unit. They're never going to play as a whole unit. These guys are going to
Well,
rise to be better when they're playing next to the first string guys.
it's not
I think
always
what he's
that. It's
saying is that one guy. I think what he's saying is that one guy can really hurt you, like McGlinchey. McGlinchey was a
really
real.
good.
He was a pain. He was
Yeah,
a blatant sore spot in the O line.
I agree, but he wasn't blowing up the whole system. Our core
But
guys,
okay, put it this way. He
to
he
bring up
might
to help out a
he
weaker.
might not blow up. Okay, put it this way. He might not blow up the whole system, but he might blow up at the crucialest play moments that we need.
That could happen to any guy. Last
It
season, we were
can.
all worried about the O line, right? We were all
Right.
expressing concerns,
You were.
and then it ended up being just fine. The O line played solid.
But see, that's one thing. One thing about the old line from last year that we failed to realize is that all those guys were veterans, and they just had to come together, and they just had to really like understand each other.
But
These guys that we're looking at,
And now we got the guys who we thought were going to be the weak spots. They ended up playing stronger than we thought last year, and now they're going to come in this year as that veteran spot.
But we're
you're
still
right.
talking about preseason. They just testing half of these dudes out. Half the dudes ain't even gonna be playing when it comes to the full season. So you can't be worried about an O line. It's more worried if we have to deal with an injury. If we have to deal with an injury, one of these guys got to step up. That's not stepping up so much. Then it's a different thing.
But see,
That
that's what
would
I'm
be the
talking
change of the
about. That's
situation.
exactly what I'm talking about. God forbid any one of those guys have to come in and fill in for just 1 or 2 games. I'm worried for that quarterback, whoever's back there.
I'm not that worried because, like I said,
Do,
they're going to be
so hold up though. Go ahead, Mike.
because they're going to be playing next to the first string. Like everyone right now that seems to be freaking out about, they're judging that whole second string unit as like they're going to play all at once. That's not going to be the case unless some major catastrophe happens.
No, but you still want to know who you have and who's ready to back up in case one of your starters goes down.
And they can still
That's
evaluate and see who's going to be there. And these games mean
yeah. I
nothing
mean that's
right now. The practices mean more to Shanahan than these games.
For the starters, here's all I'm going to say. In my opinion, we lost to the Chiefs because of our interior linemen. We lost to the Eagles because of our O-line. So, are we going too cheap with the O-line? Because, like I asked earlier, we only had a certain amount of spots that were gonna, had openings, and the majority of them were on defense, and it was right tackle, and it seemed like that was never up for competition. They were locked in on McKivitz. Well, what if McKivitz is not that good?
I mean, we're going to find out.
Right. So my thing is, our picks were all later in the all these guys that we're getting. They are cheap old linemen. It's cheap work, real cheap work. So I kind of agree with Mav. One guy on that O line can cause a lot of damage. Now I agree. Last year we had the same concerns. That can both things can be true. We were all screaming at the top of our lungs about the O line last year, and they did turn out just fine until they didn't. So I don't know. I can kind of go with both arguments. I still feel like they are going cheap with the O line, and I think they need to start drafting better guys earlier.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I agree with Mike to an extent, but what I disagree with him is just pretty much what you just said. Is the fact that last year when we worried about the O line, we worried about the O line as a whole, not as individual players. Now this year, I'm looking at them as individual players, not even as a whole. Because I mean, you're a backup for a reason, and you need to be ready at a moment's notice.
I still feel though that when we do have a weak spot in the O line, Shanahan can scheme around it.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what saves us is Shanahan's scheme. And I wonder, like, Shanahan basically could just patch that O line up. And I think we do go cheap with the O line. It's definitely not the bully O line we had with Harbaugh. That's for damn sure. But Shanahan makes it work.
I don't think he values it that much because he thinks he can just scheme around it and we'll be fine. Which it hasn't been.
That's exactly what it is. Right. That's exactly what it is. He's just my zone scheme. I throw anybody in there.
I mean, look at the Chiefs. They had backups in the Super Bowl in their O-line. They won the Super Bowl.
Wait, say that again about the Chiefs?
They had a backup O-lineman in at the Super Bowl, and they beat supposedly one of the best defensive lines in the league.
I'm not saying that. Okay, put it this way. It's 50-50 that one guy can come in and not gel with your starters. Yeah. Put it that way. And it's 50-50 that he come in and make them better. I agree that, like I said. But what I saw, I mean, I'm not dropping the hammer down on them too quickly, but damn.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is what you saw was all these guys playing together. I'm sure in practice, they're mixing them up, seeing who kind of clicks with who in case someone does go down. But you didn't see that on Sunday. You saw literally just that whole unit together with no strength to help them out.
Okay, that takes me back to practice now. How often have those guys practiced together? And why wouldn't it?
I don't know. It seems like that's what Shanahan wanted. It's exactly what he said. He's like, I don't care about the game. I'm going to see what I want to see in practice with the starters. And I think it's part of like what Ayuk talks about with Shanahan. He just threw all those guys out there unprepared and said, "Show me what you can do." And that's exactly what he needed to see. Okay, you guys got your asses whooped, every single one of you, except for like 3 of you. Now I know who the dogs are. I don't know. It just seems like that was what it was. It was by design to see who the fucking dogs are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that can also get your players hurt. Not really getting them prepared and getting them ready to go out there, just throwing them onto the fire. It's like,
I
dude, I
don't think.
mean,
Yeah, bro. Like it's football.
They're prepared to play.
If you,
Like,
right, they're prepared to.
they're
They're
not
just inexperienced, bro.
are
You're
they
talking
really
about
though?
the
Are they
Raiders
really
had.
competitive?
No, you
We
can
have
tell
the
the Raiders
Raiders.
team were like 2 and 3 year vets, 2 and 3 year vet backups versus
But
like
look,
1 year rookies. You can tell it was like college to pro still.
All right, so
I get
look.
you.
Let me ask this real quick. So if we play this game this week, we're going against Denver. Denver ain't look good last week. We didn't look as good last week. But we pull this game out with wins and say Trey Darnold, whoever comes out, has a better game in throwing. Are we going to still talk about the O-line, or are they going to have a different aspect, even
It
though they're
depends
playing
on how they
team?
play.
But
If they
I'm
play
saying
the
against
same,
this
or
competition that they're playing against, will you look at it as a better thing than from playing the Raiders to playing Denver, which Denver looked horrible last week, and then you come out and you say, okay, so
They looked
now they're
horrible
doing
with
good
Starkey,
against,
by the way.
huh?
okay, put it this way with the O line. We have to compare the guys that started last week versus this week, because like we all talking about, they might not be the same guys. You know, Ron just say they threw them together, probably threw them together just to see what they got. So it might
So
be
what you're
another
saying is
scenario
it could
like
be
that
a
too.
different rotation. It'll be the
It
same
can be different
guys that they're
rotation.
rotating, but they might make a different group.
It might, right, but at the same time, when to bring back up the Raiders, when you look at the way they played, they look like they practiced together for like 2 weeks straight for this game. Like they took this as a regular game.
Which is sad. No one does that in a preseason game. I think that made them look stupid. They literally planned. They had a game plan for a preseason game. How pathetic is that?
I mean, it's Josh McDaniels. Who? Hey, that's the Patriots way.
No, I think it's just there's really guys. I honestly think it's just both teams have different situations. The Raiders have something to fucking prove in the preseason because it's a bunch of like 1, 2, 3 year guys trying to prove and they're hungry. Kyle's got his starters locked. He's just trying to make it to the regular season without getting his fucking his whole basically his entire starting roster are like all pros.
And I
We
agree with
Right.
that.
know,
I
you
agree
know what
with
I'm saying?
that.
And
Because
I and
that's
that
why you had a lot of people saying, like making a joke saying this is the Raiders Super Bowl. They look at this as their season, kind of. These games, I think, go in as that. So it does
Bro,
kind of.
I got one name for you. If we just if you throw Nick Bosa in there, the league's biggest single-handed game wrecker, the Raiders couldn't even get nothing off. Like, come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kyle knows what he's got. He ain't got nothing to prove. But what he
so
did
this
see
year they
was that
got
his young guys are not ready. His young guys are not ready to be called upon. And it's good to see it now versus in the season when someone goes down and you got a deer in the headlights rookie and shit being called upon.
But that's still not
You
good.
know
That
what I'm
means
saying?
we have some work to do because you got to
Right.
understand injuries and stuff happen. So when we rotate these players, think about it. When the season starts and you look at our line is going to consist of
oh, you're
Bosa at
not
one
making it for
end,
me.
what? Armstead, Hargrove, who else at the line? And you got to think we always rotate, right? So if we're using these players right now, this is where we need to start trying to fix something because we are rotational a team. We rotate players throughout the season. You'll see them come in. This is why we had names coming up that people wasn't hearing of because they're like, okay, we're rotating them, so they're getting the opportunity. Like can't remember who was it that went to the Seahawks and then came back to us, and they took him because he was doing good. He had
Hyder.
good stat, he had okay stats, but he was a rotational player. Now that we have these players, we got Taco Charlton, we got other players that we're supposed to be using as
Boy, you love you
rotational
some
players.
taco, don't you?
Yeah, he do.
Hey,
You
He love
love
his
you some
name. He just love
taco,
to say
dude.
taco.
listen,
He
I'm
just love to
trying to
say
tell
taco,
you.
I gotta
Charles.
give credit. Hey, It's my Michigan player and a hometown player, man.
You know what? Speaking of Michigan, that's why Kirk Cousins is going back to the state of Michigan. How
You
about
know
that?
what?
Ann Arbor. How
Hush
about that?
football. He ain't coming to no.
All right.
Yeah.
Anywho,
No,
we
no,
getting
no.
off task here.
That'll give him and
Hey,
Harbaugh
Ron,
that
stop it
first
now.
ring.
Ron, stop it now.
Bring it back. Bring it back. What were we even talking about?
He's talking crazy. Talking about this.
No, see, that's the thing though. He killed the whole conversation bringing Michigan players.
Nah.
Like,
So,
if you gonna bring
anyways.
in Womack
What
or
it
something. Talk
is.
about Womack. If you're gonna bring in Michigan players, like, come on, do something.
Okay.
Talk
So,
about
can
them.
we all agree? Can we all agree that we should just have all the young guys for the rest of the preseason? Then, right? That's what it should be,
Yes, because
all
they're
the way through.
going to. That's what I'm saying. They're going to have to get this experience, whether it's good or bad. Whether we look good or bad, they're going to have to do it because
Exactly.
we
You
are,
know
like I
what?
said, we're a
Forget this.
rotational team. You're going
You
to
know
have to
what?
learn how to step
NFL.
in big plays and step in as a rotational player to, like, we all know he has this scheme of, I want to find somebody with at least something like the same mechanics as my starter. So if one man out, it doesn't look like it's going to be a big mismatch when the next man comes. But when you're playing like this, it's going to look like a mismatch. Like Mav said,
I got a
Okay.
one person
suggestion.
might
I
mess
got a
this up.
suggestion.
One
I
person
got a
might mess this
suggestion.
lineup.
Go ahead, man. Confess.
NFL,
You got a lot of confessions. We got receipts, but go ahead.
NFL need to go ahead and quit the preseason altogether and just start a little summer league for rookies and the second, third year players. How about that? 8 game league. How about that? And bring them into
No
OTA.
injuries. Injuries. What they do is shoot.
Yeah,
What
that's
they
interesting.
blah blah blah. What they should do is replace the Pro Bowl with the Senior Bowl, and make the rookies and the sophomores play the best rookies and sophomores, or just give us the best college players with a competitive game. So that's what I would like to see.
Sure, I'll do
But
that.
yeah, why not? Why can't we get the Senior Bowl for the Pro Bowl, or get like a rookie sophomore All Star game, or
But you talking about just one
guys who are
game.
trying to get contracts?
But you're talking about just one game versus like, okay, you can make it. It don't even have to be 8 games. You could just make it 5 games, just to let those guys play, just to
You
see what
can't.
you have. I
Now
know
you
it's
can't play
injuries. I
football
know it's a
any.
lot.
Yeah, you can't play football more than 10 games at that age, or 15 games. It's just too much for the body.
Well, I'm talking about for the rookies and second year players.
Just for and period. Like, you have a league in between, like a development league. You mean?
Somewhat, you can
So
call it
you talking
that.
about like an NFL G League?
Pretty much.
Who gonna start it with Trey Lance?
Hey,
Yeah.
you
Hey,
can send me. You can
I
send
was
me
just
that
fucking
lineup.
with you, bro. I was just fucking.
Look, hey, but
All
look,
right.
think about it. Think about it.
Okay,
Think about it.
let's go ahead and pivot on that. Let's go ahead and pivot that, because man's gonna go down a rabbit hole. All right, TJ's not on here. TJ's not on here. Are we ready
See,
to
you could have sent
concede?
guys like
Are
Sam
we ready
Donald
to
down there.
concede? Mike, are you ready to concede? Was TJ right?
I got to see one more week.
One more week?
I know this week is flipping. Donald's going to start and Lance will come in after. So I have to see one more week.
hold on. With that being said, I just seen that Purdy may start a series or two.
I don't think so. He's probably going to start. He'll be in week 3.
Do y'all
Donald
think
was
he
one
needs to
of
be started
7.
though? If we're trying to get these quarterback battles between two to see which one is going to be the backup, does he really need to start and risk an injury?
I mean,
Trey
Shanahan
was
threw
3 for 3.
him in that one game
Don,
series. Just kind of.
I just feel like it don't need to be risk. If you feel like that's your starter, then let him be the starter. Y'all talking about we want to see what he does, because all it is you trying to prove a point, because what people are saying in practice of him throwing interceptions, or you want to see him in a game time situation. We'll see him in the season. Y'all made it point that that's your starter, and everybody's really just vying for a position 2 of quarterback between Donald and Trey.
nah,
I say we keep that going for the rest of the preseason, because putting Purdy in is not going to change the situation when the season starts and he's still the starter.
hold on now. I disagree just to an extent. I want to at least see Purdy for at least one quarter of the last game. I want to see what he's come back from in a real game situation.
But what's it going to change though? Say say he does come out right, and he still throws an interception. Like they keep saying, this is what they want to see. If it's going to be another play like he's been doing in practice, when the season starts, who's going to be the quarterback? Just answer
Dude,
that.
Purdy's been throwing interceptions since high school, bro. There's nothing ever
Yeah,
gonna
he
change
has.
with that.
Exactly. Look,
Exactly.
bro. So,
And guess what? Let's talk about. You want to talk about interceptions? If they want to keep talking about that, Peyton Manning. That's all I gotta say. Everybody remembers his first season. Matter of fact, we can go to one of his last seasons. I seen the stats the other day, and I was gonna put it up because the type that he won the Super Bowl with Denver. He won the Super Bowl. Guess what? The man almost had the interceptions tied up with his touchdowns. And then even when he got to the playoffs, he had like 2 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the
Hold on,
playoffs.
time out, bro.
So
Time out. I can't let you go on. I can't let you go on, bro. If you're gonna compare anybody to Peyton Manning, make sure they can read the damn playbook and
no, but
actually
I'm saying with
study
the
their Peyton.
interceptions, everybody makes a big deal about him throwing interceptions. This guy threw interceptions. He figured the game out. Purdy just played what last year, and it was half a season. Now he's starting his full season. You're talking about the man throwing interceptions. Let him play a full game out, a full season out. Like I said, Peyton Manning had the first rookie season. He threw, what was it, 20-something interceptions. People got to get the feeling. You gotta let this man come in at the end of a season, and then he left with an injury. Then he's coming back for hopefully a fresh start of a full season. Then we'll see what he do. If he keep throwing interceptions like that, fine. We'll find out then. But if you're talking about this is our starting quarterback, and you're like, well, I just want to see what he can do in the preseason if this interception thing is a problem. It's preseason. So what? You already made your point of he's just
Let me,
starting.
let me, let me ask you this like unlikely or likely scenario to happen. If we win the Super Bowl, do you trade? If not,
At
do
that
you
point,
still trade?
yes. If
Okay.
if we win the Super Bowl with Purdy, he goes the whole season. He's healthy. He gets us there. That's it. There's no reason to have Lance on the team.
And I'm with you on that. Drew?
Okay, now what are we trading for? Because after
It
that,
doesn't. It
fine, you
doesn't.
make your
It
point.
doesn't matter
He
what you
makes it to
trade.
the Super
But
Bowl
no,
because
no,
you
no,
got to
no, no,
understand.
There's
We
no
no,
got to
no,
remember what we gave up to
no.
get him. Look, you got to remember what you gave up to get him, right? So now you remember what you
See,
gave up to
y'all
get him.
always talk about me moving the goalposts. Who's moving it now?
Drew. At that point, it doesn't matter. The man has to be paid next year. You have to pick up his option. If
Oh
we
yeah,
win,
Dude,
I absolutely
why
get
are we
that.
even going to talk about keeping Trey's option? No,
No,
that's
no,
when
no,
you're
no, no. I ain't talking about keeping because you're absolutely right. After that point, if he wins the Super Bowl, yeah, he got to go
yeah.
because
See,
that okay?
it's
That's
just
a
a waste. That's a
what
waste.
more
it's
do
a
you guys need?
equal
What
question.
more do you guys need to see from Trey? What more do you guys need to see from Trey?
I told you, I just want to see what happens this week. I agree with Mike. We talked about that last week when we talked. And me and Mike both said it's the first game. And he said, we got to see what's going on. I said, give me a second week. I told y'all that in the text. Give me a second week. It's 1 week. Give me a second week. He do it the second week.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's he got to do? Through 2 touchdown passes. What's he got to do for you to be like, all right, give me a third week?
Don't look like last week.
everyone
He
likes to
got it.
talk
He got
about
it. Don't look like last week. Move your dang on feet out the pocket. Make quicker decisions, man. Like your thoughts and stuff is like he's like a glitch player. You see him go, he'll have an opening and just sit there. Like, bro, you gotta make better decisions with this passing. Because that's what got to me last week. It was like your decision was slow. You hesitate.
He was holding on to the ball a little longer. I agree with you on that. He was holding on to it, and he was not. He was already giving away his plays before it even
And his feet weren't moving.
developed.
I text y'all in the middle. I said,
No,
yo,
hey,
he looks
look,
slow to
listen,
me.
listen. I'm glad he didn't throw the ball. I'm glad he held on to it because I don't know where it fucking would have ended up, bro.
That's true. He
The
do be throwing
hesitation
them
made me
bullets.
think,
do you
like, yo,
agree
what's he
that he
thinking
I'm
gets
about?
better the longer he plays?
I'm terrified of his throws.
People bring that part up, that he gets better the longer he plays. Like the last game, he was getting better as he played. So 2 games in a
I
row,
mean, he does though.
you should see some kind of improvement if that's the case, right?
Okay, let me ask you a quick question. So y'all said we make it to the Super Bowl, he win. Do you, or whether we make it at least far enough in the playoffs and we do it. Say we don't even get to Super Bowl, but do you still trade him if you make it back to the NFC Championship?
Yes.
Okay, so therefore,
I think you trade him now. I think
would
I'm
you?
with Mav now. I think he needs scenery because he looks like a guy who he looks like his confidence is gone. Like he has no
Okay.
confidence.
I think he lets the media get to him.
No,
He's so
but honestly,
scared.
bro,
He's so scared to
honestly, bro,
make a mistake because everybody's just micro with the microscope on
Exactly. That's
every
what I said.
single
I
little
think
thing
you
he
should.
that's the
does.
problem.
Man, you got to kind
That's
of
the
shut that
thing
out.
too.
Mav wants him on Miami so he could have his super team over there.
There you go, bring him on down. But no, but Drew, it's hard for a young player like that to shut it down at a big stage, bro. Because you gotta think,
But you gotta
a guy like
understand, you're
Brock
going to
Purdy.
get criticized. All these players, it's
No,
like with them
but
players.
listen,
Tom Brady
but
got
listen,
criticized until he retired.
but listen, dude. This man came from not only a small town, from a big state, from big state now, a small town. He went to a small school, a small division. He didn't and only played like 1 year. And he hasn't played for like damn near four now, bro. Like past 11 months, he hadn't played. He's
Okay.
still
Right.
developing. He
All right,
was
with you
only
saying
20.
all of
Hold
that,
on,
right?
hold on, Drew. Hold on. He was only 20 when he came into the league. That's the advantage that Trey Lance has. He still has 3 more years to actually prove that he was worth the number third pick in the overall in the draft.
So what you saying is 49ers jumped the gun by grabbing him then.
Yeah,
Pretty
he came
much.
out to
Whose fault is that? Who got like who
You know
bamboozled
who
who?
pulled it. You
Like
know who pulled the trigger.
and
You know who
see
pulled the
that
trigger.
takes
who
us
was it?
that takes us to the next topic. That takes us to the
Yep.
next topic. If
Who
we
we gonna
don't
blame
win,
for this shit?
John or Kyle. I mean, one says he wanted Justin Fields, while the other one was like, "No, this is who I'm taking," and
I
he
don't
still couldn't
No.
develop.
no one wanted Justin Fields.
What?
Yo,
Somebody
Yeah.
said,
hold up.
come on.
Can't you guys tell by the way Shanahan never, ever, ever defends Trey Lance? You guys don't think that Shanahan takes a stance like, I didn't pick
Because
this guy.
hold on, because he
I
didn't.
told
That's what I
y'all.
was about to say. John picked this guy. Y'all got to remember when it all came and everybody was talking about it. The post, everything that came about. Shanahan's guy at that point was Mac Jones for a little bit. Mac Jones was his guy. It switched at the end. Right when the draft week came, it
It
switched.
did.
That was John. This is his guy. He just thought what he was getting was going to be spectacular. Mav said it earlier. It showed a good interview. You had a good interview. Had one of the best interviews. Mac Jones was looking horrible at first. We all remember the Mac Jones draft body, how it looked. It didn't look good. It was a whole switch around everything. And then it was like, all right, well, we got Trey or Justin Fields. At draft week, it came to at Trey or Justin Fields. I mean, you gotta call it like it is. That wasn't Shanahan's pick.
But why
You
the
know,
switch though?
So
Why the
then,
do
why
you
the
guys
tweet came
really
out?
do we
No,
are we not are we I mean, do we really think they caved into fan pressure?
who?
I mean, like, cause Shanahan's like, I don't give a fuck about the fans. I'm gonna go with whatever. And then John's like, nah, I think if we go with this guy, like, it's not a PR look. Like, do we even think that conversation was even had at one point?
So then, why would
Cause
this tweet come out about John Lynch wanting Justin Fields?
I don't know,
Okay,
is it accurate or not?
throw a little
If
wrench
John
in
Lynch,
the theory.
huh?
What if Zach Wilson was the real pick?
Are
Yeah.
you serious? Come on.
What if Saleh fucked him over? Maybe he
Yep.
said something that made them think that they could get Zach Wilson at 3.
Mm-hmm. That's why
Remember,
they
I
went
said
up.
something. Remember, I said something
We
along
did
those
talk
lines.
about this. We all no,
Remember,
we all
I
talked to
brought
this
it
is
up.
on tape. We all talked about the scenario that they probably moved up thinking Salah was gonna do him a solid since they just got the boy a new job and Wilson was gonna fall to us. That was a target. It was Wilson.
Well, see, I thought it was the other way around. I thought because of Shetty moving up, because of the 49ers moving up, was to scare Salah to take Trey Lance because, rookie head coach, oh man,
Mm-hmm.
this team that I just came from, now they just jumped up for what? They know what I need, they know who I want. But why they doing this? So I thought it was the other way around, maybe.
They thought they had info that somebody was taking Trey Lance, and they moved up to be in position to get Wilson in case that happened. That's probably what it was. And then
Had Trey Lance
they
not
went with Trey Lance because
had Trey Lance not get drafted third, does he fall to the Patriots like Matt?
I don't think I don't think the Patriots take him. I think the Niners even knew they could have just stayed at 12 and took Mac. That's why I'm like, there's no way. Like their initial target had to have been Wilson because he was the only one that high.
Yeah,
I think they could have
I don't
stayed
believe
at 12
Dak.
and got less. Because didn't
What's that,
Kyle
Mike?
Pitts come out?
The reason I don't think Mac was ever it because he's got character issues. This team stays away from that.
That's true.
Yep.
The
They said his interview was terrible.
He had a DUI. The guy was like dressing up in racist costumes. Like the 49ers didn't want to touch that.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Pitts
That's
came
what,
out in
and they
that
said the
draft.
interview. They said the interview. Trey was the best interview. He wowed him in the interview. That's what separated him. I think that's how they ended up. He wowed the shit out of him, and everybody else were just straight douchebags. But I don't know that Kyle's ever really been sold.
I was excited year one. You guys know I'm a Trey Lance supporter. But by year two, I've been screaming, this is the wrong system for him. This is the wrong team for him. I don't want to be known as the team that damages players. I've been screaming that for the longest, and I'm sticking by that. This is the wrong system for him. He can't be himself in the system because he's trying so hard, like we said already. He's trying so hard to be perfect that he's messing up. He's in his own head at this point. The media is not even messing with him.
I still think it's the media. I can't, because I mean, like, listen, like I said, you had time to set up, time to practice, get all this. When they was in practice, you heard everybody talking about his arm looked good. He changed his throwing motion. You went to quarterback camp with Mahomes, and then you was out there working out. And then you get to the game, and everybody starts saying this, and you feel like you got to prove something under pressure. You got to stop listening to what's around you and play your game. Because if you can look good in practice, I'm telling you, you put that same effort when you get out there on the field. Do the same thing.
One thing that Low Cone Grant Daddy said that I agree with is one thing, as I've always said this as well. The NFL is not a developmental league, so you can't sit there and thinking that you're gonna come in here and get developed. You should have already been learning all these through high school and college.
Okay, why?
That's why it makes Trey Lance. Go ahead, Mike.
Why do players sit then and then they come out and they're great?
Learn the playbook, learn the system.
Aaron Rodgers sat for how long?
But you're in the league though. You're sitting to learn the playbook and learn the system, not learn new mechanics and learn how to play the game. This is what Trey Lance is being like now. They're teaching him to actually know how to play the game at that position.
Yeah, I just don't think I agree and disagree. I don't think a guy picked that high is brought into the NFL to sit and learn. A guy at 3 should be brought in to immediately be an impactful player and starter.
Yeah, I mean, look at Anthony Richardson. I talk so much about him, saying his inconsistency and everything. He's already named week 1 starter.
Yeah, it's going to cost Reich his job again.
Yeah. We're going to be, yeah. I mean, we said last year and talked about, how many years ago did Trey Lance get drafted? We were already talking, and all those QBs, how many of them are actually good? One. We were talking about it. We were like, all right, so we got potential for some talent to come into the league. Nope. Potentially one guy out of all those dudes is going to be good. Still got QB problems.
I think the draft needs to be changed for real. Like, stop worrying about all these defensive and edge rushers and all that. Just rank them as the best down player of the nation in the nation. Just have it go down that list, and just let teams go through and just pick them like they used to back in the days, back in the 90s. Like, monkey wrench all through the draft. This guy was projected to go 3rd, but yet he goes 10th. And the guy that was projected to go 10th goes 1st. I want to see something like that again. Just go for the best damn player.
Well, there's a tier, like they have tiers when you draft. I don't know if you just know about the scoring system. It's like a 0 to 9. Like if you score like Nick Bosa and then like, all right, this guy's like a fucking first ballot Hall of Famer. It should be by tiers, like QBs. Like QBs, don't draft this guy in the top 10 unless this guy's going to be an absolute tier 1 QB. That we have what? How many in the league right now? Maybe 2, 3. Josh, Joe, and Patrick that are going to change your organization.
Patrick is in his own league.
And then there's tier 2. Tier 2 is like, okay, maybe late first rounder, early second rounder, and then tier 3, tier 4. That way you don't bring in guys like put the pressure on these QBs and ruin them with so much pressure to change your organization.
Dude,
It's
Jadeveon Clowney.
It's the QB position they need to get right.
Jadeveon Clowney boosted up his draft stock with one play in college.
One play.
Just one. Just all it took him was just one play at the right time and first round player. And where's he at now? How did he get scored?
Clowney?
Yeah.
Probably all pro. I don't think he got first ballot. First ballot's like Nick Bosa, you mean dudes like Trent Williams.
Yeah, but you seen Nick Bosa from when he first started into what he ended up in college.
If you look him up, he'll tell you his draft profile will tell you like the score he got. Like it's a I'm telling you, my dude Tom, he told me he broke it all down.
So what is it about the QB scoring system that you need to see change?
I think it's the way they scout QBs is just all physical. They're not scouting them mentally. They say they do, but they're testing them in like all the wrong areas. Like look at Brock Purdy. Just because he looks like Even Stevens and shit, they like the dude was in his arm strength. Joe Montana. It's all about like the biggest, fastest, most powerful dude that's not how it works. That's not. Look at Tom Brady. It's Aaron Rodgers. Like it's proven time and time again, the NFL fucking misses with what an actual QB is. It's not the guy that throws the hardest. It's the guy with the precision, the anticipation, the accuracy, the ball placement, the processing. And that's what I'm saying. Even fans want Cam Newton looking quarterbacks, rightfully so. But look at the dude from the Raiders. That guy's a QB. He looks like a geek. He's a fucking badass QB. I'm telling you, he's gonna take Jimmy's job.
We talked about
Aiden O'Connell from Purdue. I'm telling you, that kid's good, dude. Will Levis. The guy fell. But if you go on YouTube right now and throw on some Will Levis shit at Titans and the Titans cap and see what he's doing, and he fell for whatever reason because he doesn't smile and shit. I don't fucking know.
Since you brought up Will Levis and the Titans, that's the one conversation that we had earlier throughout the text, and I seen the rumors, and when I looked it up, and I'm gonna go ahead and run with those rumors as well. That Kirk Cousins I believe he will walk next year, and that only leaves the Vikings with one QB on that roster. So their game coming up against the Titans, they will be evaluating Malik Willis. Because there's no way they're trading for Will Levis at this point. He just got drafted.
Yeah, that's the game. I'm looking forward to the Titans this offseason. I want to watch the Titans this offseason because there's the QB competition with the Titans I'm interested in.
And that's the only reason why Tannehill still has a job, because nobody back there can show anything.
We'll see.
What's your take, Mike?
On
the whole Vikings Titans situation, Kirk Cousins situation?
It ain't gonna be Malik. That guy's not gonna be starting in the NFL.
You don't see Kirk Cousins going to the Patriots to save Bill Belichick's job?
No, I don't think Belichick will be able to save his job. I think they're gonna be done with him.
I heard Mac Jones is Bailey Zapps winning over there in New England.
Come on, we seen that last year.
There's a lot more issues than just a quarterback. Kirk Cousins is not going to fix the Patriots. Kirk Cousins is going to fix a lot of teams.
Send them out there
Listen,
to the Dolphins.
when I seen that earlier today, and I seen y'all texting that, I said, if y'all want to put Kirk Cousins somewhere, I know y'all ain't gonna hear me out. I know y'all don't. Y'all don't like my hot
Yo,
takes.
Michigan.
Hot takes be cold takes.
No, he's gonna say that he should be on the Niners. Watch.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
not. Here you go. I was gonna say the Buccaneers because if y'all think that the Buccaneers is gonna trust Baker Mayfield to be the successor of Tom Brady and go out the
we're talking about
and use him again for
win now mode.
You think they're gonna use him for the next season?
But the Buccaneers are not
next season.
Dude, I live in Tampa, man. The Bucks are not in the win now mode with Todd Bowles as head coach, but I'm sorry. That's
Kirk
not
Cousins and Kirk Cousins and Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins versus Derek Carr.
I would love to see that.
He is. That's
and then Kyler Murray to the Falcons.
I can see that. I
don't think anyone's gonna touch Kyler. I think the Cardinals are stuck with him.
Kyler's not gonna come to the South with that noise, bro. I'm sorry, he ain't gonna come to the South with that crap. They're not gonna take it.
But then, hold on. But then, what quarterbacks besides Caleb Williams is coming out of the draft? Because then you think of that. Some people probably might give up their season for the draft to get a better quarterback.
No, it's not worth it, bro. It's not worth it. They don't even need to do any kind of hype for no quarterbacks. We don't even need to do no kind of hype for no quarterbacks coming out next season, bro. Honestly, like we can talk about a few of them, but
okay, so that's what I'm saying. So you got Caleb Williams.
It's just Caleb and the North Carolina kid, really.
Yeah, I'm about to say the dude from North Carolina,
and that's it.
Dude from North Carolina.
Oh, and no, I mean, if you want to talk about Penix from Washington, Mike's guy, he may make some noise, but
they got him, and they've been hyping up Bo Nix. They've been hyping up Bo Nix.
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Listen, we're gonna talk about Jordan Travis and Jaden Daniels before we talk about Bo Nix, bro. Like real talk.
But I'm saying Bo Nix has been hyped up, just like you said in that Heisman race. He's up there because they hype him up. So the fact that he's that transfer player, he did an okay season last year. He got him to the, how far they got him, and then they're like, okay, he can be a top draft pick and a top.
Dude, he's overhyped. Don't fall for it. He's overhyped. Don't fall for that, bro.
I'll watch Bo Nix. I knew it when he went to Oregon.
All right, okay, let's bring it back. We going back on a tangent about college football again. Let's bring it back.
No, because this is gonna lead up to the NFL. I'm saying, which y'all speaking of, when the quarterbacks come next year, do you keep the trades of, okay, like you said, Malik wants to go, they go take him to the Vikings. Kirk Cousins leaves and goes somewhere else. You got to sign these players, or do you take a quarterback coming out of college?
There's only 2 first rounders that are, I think, worthy next year. It's the North Carolina kid and Caleb.
That's what I was asking.
Who's going to go number 1? Only 2 guys worthy even to mention.
Okay.
All right, so Ron, we're doing an hour, right? So that means we're about to close out in 7 minutes.
Yep.
All right, so real quick, Mike, I'm gonna start with you.
Bring it.
Call 49er call outs, man. Who you calling out this week for this week's game?
I want to see Drake Jackson in there doing something.
He's been hurt. He's coming back. They said, is he back already?
I think he's gonna be back for the game, so I want to see some.
Okay. What about you, Drew?
You want 49er call outs? Nick Bosa, sign your fucking deal.
There we go. Please get this done. I'm telling you, I'm like, first I was just chill about it, but now I've been with Mike, like, bro, if he don't get this damn deal done, and I keep seeing all the posts like, just sign the papers, bro.
What about you, Drew? Call out.
Calling out, like I said, the line for this week. You gotta step up. Bosa, sign your papers. We got to see something.
That fool just fumbled at the 1 yard line, bro. No, don't do that. The Browns are gonna Brown.
There's a flag.
Nope. It's over. They ended in a tie.
Oh yeah, it's highlights. My bad. It's the highlights. I can't. Oh,
Them boys ended the game in a tie.
I'm on a delay here, I guess.
No OT
hey,
in
that just
preseason.
separated.
Nah, it's no OT in preseason, so they tied out.
All right, so what about you? What about you, Ronnie? Call out.
Oh man, I got to call out, bro. I'm gonna have to call out Trey Lance.
Okay.
I really need to. You know what I'm saying? Like Trey, look, bro. I still got faith. I'm barely hanging on by a thread, but I still got faith. I need to see something this week, man, before I make my decision. So I'm gonna call out Trey Lance. I'm hoping this dude's confidence bounces back this week, and he just doesn't look back.
Okay. I'm gonna leave the Trey Lance stuff alone for most of the part of this year, for the simple fact that I've come to the conclusion that this is just not the right scheme for him, not the right system. But my call out for this week is I'm calling out Steve Wilkes. I want to see a better defensive adjustment because we got the ball move up and down the field all up on us. It wasn't just old line trouble. Defense was looking like what's up too. So that's what I'm calling out this week.
I like that. All right, man. Why don't you go ahead and close this out, man?
I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's the end of the show, the Niners Lounge, baby, where we talk noise, bring in the court, we do the call out shows. And sometimes I get under Mike's skin a little bit. I love doing that. But you, as always, fellas.
Ready for it.
What's up? What's up?
I'm here for it.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what makes the show fun, man. Hopefully, more people tune in. This season is gonna be a great season, fellas. Like always, is a pleasure. Y'all have a great night, and we're gonna do this again next week.
Yes, sir.